Gemini, welcome to your reading. This week we're going to do a monthly overview for March for all 12 signs. Yeah? Let's take a look at you for March. Show me Gemini in March. What's going on, please, for Gemini in March? Show me Gemini in March. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not, and if there's more than one energy on this board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. These are, after all, general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate normal, but check your other placements, you will find yourself in there somewhere. FYI, I did do Aquarius' reading, and your power card dropped a couple of times, so if you have any Aquarius in your chart, perhaps check theirs out, okay? But it may or may not mean anything to you. Just FYI. What's going on, please? Show me. Show me Gemini in March. Show me Gemini in March. Show me Gemini in March. All right. What's going on? Ten of Wands. The Empress. Knight of Swords. Oh, you're busy. Entering March, you're busy. You're kicking it off. Busy, busy note right away, taking action, but you're saying it's also my responsibility as Empress, form of empowerment. You're saying no one else can really handle this but me. This is my gig. This is what I do. It's tiresome. It feels like it weighs you down, but you're also saying this is my gig, and it's very action-oriented at the beginning of March, immediately launching yourself into the month. Okay. Four of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Devil. You got something that you're holding on to that causes you conflict. Okay. We all have a Five of Swords from time to time, and we all have a little bit of the devil in there too. It's normal. And if you say you don't, that's your Five of Swords, that's your particular devil. Okay. The more you're aware that you have these aspects attached to you, like we all do, so much the better you are. Okay, I promise you this. But there's something here, Four Pentacles, and us holding on to it is a form of self-sabotage, and it's patternized with the devil there. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. In future, King of Wands, the Lovers, that's you, and the Ace of Cups, that's a lot better. You're showing me a strong sense of passion, dedication, love, connectivity. The heart space is involved. It looks very positive on the bottom line. So I doubly want to make sure we understand this segment, because this is absolutely beautiful. You're absolutely here with your own particular power card showing up. King of Wands is here. Ace of Cups, beautiful. That's gorgeous energy. So like I said, I want to be doubly sure we understand what this is, because I don't want whatever this is to touch that, to affect that. Okay? It's looking like you have two truths in you. One that you hold on to that's not necessarily yours, but you insist on keeping it, even if it costs you. And the truth, a very strong feeling, strong connection, strong love attached to you, that could also be your truth. Okay? Now this part that's pretty easy. High levels of productivity. I'm on it. This Gemini, right at the opening, beginning of March, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it, right? You're saying this is what I do. This is what I'm good at. It's not easy, 10 of Wands, but it's what I'm good at. Full stop. Okay, let's take a look at that 10 of Wands, please, for Gemini. Show me Gemini. I may not clarify all of these. For instance, that Four of Pentacles pretty much speaks for itself in that position. Let's say that 10 of Wands. Let's say that 10 of Wands. Some of that 10 of Wands, it's just reinforcing the same pattern. That's all it is. I just want to know what that pattern is, because I don't want it messing with you. Okay? Let's say that 10 of Wands. Some of that 10 of Wands. Some of that 10 of Wands. Some of that 10 of Wands, please. You're showing me high levels of production, and you take it seriously. You're like, this is my job. Right, out the door you go. Dun, 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 dun. Like that. I like that. And I know that energy. It's like, I'm the one in charge here. I got to deal with it. Nine of Cups, Queen of Swords. There you are, Strength. You're like, yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have a 10 of Wands, and people will show me 10 of Wands all the time, and it's almost always the worst 10 of Wands, you're showing me productivity attached to your 10 of Wands. In other words, it actually produces something for you that you take pride in. It gives you a sense of empowerment. You're the decision maker in this. I decide what gets produced, how, etc. Okay. So I got to tell people, if you're going to have a 10 of Wands, it needs to be the 10 of Wands of your choice, right? You can love your job, you can love your career, and there's always going to be something there that's like, that's a pain in my ass, though. But you're like, do I love what I do? You're like, yeah, I do. You're like, I choose to be here. Strength, Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups. You're good at making decisions at whatever this is. And when you knock them out, when you show strength, when you show resilience, when you show that your mind is on it, boom, your energy's like, hell yeah, I got this. Yeah, good, excellent. So again, this is the Ten of Wands by choice. You're good at whatever it is that you do. I want to see your production value here is the Empress. What's going on? Show me that Empress, please. I think the Knight of Swords speaks for itself. You take action because it's your business. When you get called into action, you're like, I'm there. That's my business. Yeah. You're like, I'm proud that this business is my business. I don't neglect it. You know? You are always on top of it, or you try to be. You sort things out. You do it quickly and with a lot of strength of will and strength of mind. And it pleases you when you accomplish it. Nine of Cups. Like I said, it's your Ten of Wands by choice. Let's see that Empress, please. Show me the Empress. Show me that Empress, please. Show me the Empress, please. Show me the Empress. Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Yeah, time has tempered you very well in this respect. You're saying if you want things to grow in terms of quality, you have to be open to options, and that means sometimes setting yourself back. You get some losses. You get some gains, and you're saying somewhere in there is your process. You're saying you're not perfect. You're not. You just know what works for you. Good. You're saying sometimes production's off. Say sometimes it's on point. Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way. This is all self-admission here, and it's one of the things that's made you successful. So entering March, you're going to have one of what you might call, for the Gemini I'm looking at, one of your difficult periods. This is known for you. It's known for you. And you are being presented what looks like new challenges at the beginning of March, but you're also saying it's my business to figure it out. This is what I do. Good job. You're like, they can't all be winners, but by God, I can get it close. And experience has taught you this. This is great. This is wonderful. Experience has taught you this. It's not always easy. And you are being presented with a new challenge at the beginning of March, but you're like, I'm going to rise to meet it because that's, again, Christina, that's what I do. So you're opening in March, busy. You're busy. You're busy. You're busy, Gemini. But honestly, from what I can tell in your disposition, I don't think you'd have it any other way. It's not always easy. It's not always comfortable. And you're carefully having to plot something that's a little different compared to what you're used to doing. But that does not change your skills, ability, and experience. You're just having to find new methods to carry out your skill, abilities, and experience. You got some sort of challenge, but you're like, I'm the one that's qualified to do it. There you go. You got it. You got it. Have faith in yourself and your skills. You'll get this sorted. I know you will. You have a background history with this. I don't doubt it for 1 second. I know what that energy's like. If you've ever been in a position, a career, or field where you're constantly being met with challenges, but you have enough experience behind you to know that you can more or less handle it no matter how it dresses itself up as. You know what it's like. It's a touch of creativity, touch of knowledge base, okay, actions, trial and error. You'll eventually get there, okay? All right. You got something poking you at the beginning of March, though. You'll figure it out. Let's jump on over here. Like I said, Four of Pentacles, this is a holding on pattern. The Devil reinforces it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and forego that Four of Pentacles for now. However, if I need more elaboration, okay, I'll go back to it. We're going to switch things up for you. I switch things up as I see it's in the best interest to do so. Let's see that Five of Swords, please. I'm going to jump right into the heart of the issue. What is this self-sabotage thought? Okay. Again, it's not a judgment call. It's the cards. We all have a Five of Swords, Seven of Swords. How big they are, how out of control they are, it depends on how much we neglect it or we refuse to understand. Okay? Let's see that Five of Swords. Now the Devil's attached to this. That tells me this is a chronic issue, a chronic pattern. And it might be low level, but it's low functioning enough that it comes up as a problem. That's reoccurring. So let's take a look at that. Show me this Five of Swords. 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 Show me that Five of Swords, please. Show me that Five of Swords. Show me that Five of Swords, please. What's going on? I feel like I'm sitting across the client today. I haven't felt that in a long time. Sometimes I really do miss one-to-one client work because it's just so much more personalized. It really is. And that's good tarot is when you pay to have a one-on-one interaction. Yeah, it should be personalized. I feel like I'm doing a personalized plan for you today. I do. Eight of Pentacles going back to work. Ten of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles. Ah, okay. That completely made sense, particularly as it relates to your opening. I got you. Let's go ahead and clarify that Devil real quick. I was about ready to say what you're showing me here is so different from your bottom row. I was like, I could not see how they were related. is going back to work. Hold on. Let me just check that Devil real quick. Can you imagine that? If that was your job, I got to coat check the Devil. That's hilarious. Sorry, Devil, I got to coat check you today. We don't know what you're carrying in your pockets, and we can't let you in. You know, you got to check your coat at the door, and he's going to be like, I'm coat checking that Devil. It's like, what do you got in your pockets today, sir? We'll go ahead and give you this ticket number for your coat. You can get it back at the end of the function. Okay. Did you ever have a job like that? I never did, but I get the idea of it. All right, let's see the Devil, please. Show me the Devil, show me the Devil, show me the Devil. Right now, I'm asking you to turn out your pockets. Just show me. Just show me. Come on. Five of Wands, Six of Swords, the Magician. Oh, I see. Okay. You have equal parts correct and equal parts incorrect. Okay, so I can see why this is a reoccurring pattern for you. I do. It's the two sides of Gemini trying to fight, trying to find a solution. You haven't come up against one, and this is a patternized fight that you have within yourself, and it seems to go back directly to work. You're showing me a remarkable sense of I'm on it, I'm out the door, this is my gig, this is what I do. I got to discover things through trial and error, but I always get it sorted. Cool. Let's jump on over here to your internal process, which as far as I can tell is directly related back to work. You have an ongoing reoccurring pattern of what you fear or is assuming self-sabotage. If I leave this, is it a form of self-sabotage? Maybe it's a me problem. Okay. No, we're going to stay here and stick it out. I'm not allowing this opportunity to end just because I'm not always in flow with it. Okay. You pride yourself on staying in there and figuring it out. I see that. I full respect, kudos for that. I'm going to stay in this and figure it out. It's a point of pride to you. But you also can't help but wonder, when does that cross over into an unhealthy thought? Am I just self-inflicting torture over here? Should it always be like this? Am I missing other opportunities? Is this opportunity holding me back? Am I talking myself out of a good opportunity? What does the tarot lady say? If you have to talk yourself in and out of anything, that's not good. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just keep going. This is what I do anyway. I'll figure it out. Okay. So your reality and how you approach things makes perfect sense. Your internal process surrounding this suggests that every time you've had an opportunity, be it in work or whatever, you often stick around, you say, longer than you should, because you insist that you have to figure it out. There have been opportunities you have passed up because you were convinced it doesn't get better than this, right? And is that self-sabotage? The answer is yes. You staying in a role that you don't like, you're familiar with that too, and that is also, of course, a form of self-sabotage. Should I stay? Should I go? I see this pattern with you often. I just know that you want the fight in you to die. Okay. With the Devil, Five of Wands, Six of Swords, the Magician, it is so tempting. It is so tempting, Gemini, right? To say this sucks. I'm being underutilized, I'm being underpaid, and I stick around and I put up with it. Why? Because I solve the problems. Apparently, I'm really good at it, but that doesn't mean I'm thinking about my own best interests. You really want this fight in you to die. Is this as good as it gets? Because I get feedback, I'm actually quite good at it. But am I a sucker for staying and being the solution to everybody's problems? Am I extracting the most of these opportunities, or am I telling myself this is as good as it gets? You want to know, and you have a reoccurring thought throughout your career, is this a form of self-sabotage to stay, or is it self-sabotage to go? Okay. And in between all that, in reality, you get things done very well. Unfortunately, you're good at what you do. So it gives you reason to stay, right? But there's something in here that says, is this the best for me? And if I stay, what does that say? And if I go, what does that say? That's something you're going to have to figure out. This is one thing that I can tell you that you can decide for yourself if you should stay or go. The environment. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel combative, toxic, and like you can't get away from it? That's a big clue right there. Just because you enjoy what you do doesn't mean you're destined to stay there if the workplace is sour, bad, or unsupportive. Because you could take those same skills and apply it somewhere else in a much healthier environment. So if your issue here is not pay structure, compensation, etc., let's take that off the table, okay? I don't think you'd be sticking around in this if it didn't pay you enough. No, you're showing me a holding on pattern because this is what your mind is going back and forth on. Should I stay or should I go? And is either one a form of self-sabotage? Take your skills, your pay bracket, and your title out of the equation. What are you left with? You either feel good, supported in your work environment, where your work is clearly appreciated, or it's undermined, undervalued, and it's just one constant uphill battle that you seem to be in a very good position to constantly solve them, but that doesn't mean that's the best use of your time, energy, and effort. So that's how you're going to answer that. I want you to take all the compensation out of the equation. What kind of environment is this? Okay? Because you're saying you would love to just leave the fight behind, but fear holds you back. So that actually tells me which one for you is self-sabotage and one's not. Fear to move on, Devil, the Six of Swords, is real for you. That means then, if I'm looking at the cards the way I am, self-sabotage for you then is staying in this environment. You're afraid to go. Because you know you can transplant these highly valuable skills elsewhere. So I see you actually in the habit of talking yourself out of going and talking yourself into staying. And you probably think it's the other way around. That's what self-sabotage is. It's not what I think it is. That's not it. That's not what's happening. I don't have that pattern, Christina. I don't. I'm fine. Until the next time I want to pull my hair out. But other than that. So again, big difference between your skills, the application of them, and how sometimes it's tiresome and frustrating, but you got it, versus how you're made to feel about how you're doing anything. Okay? I need you to separate what it is you can do from what you're experiencing. What you can do is phenomenal. What you're experiencing makes you feel like crap. Okay? When the time is right, there's going to be a pull in your energy around March. Gemini, we need to get out of this. I could be doing the same shit somewhere else, and for not half the bullshit that it's worth. Like I said, put compensation aside, pay, title. Let's assume those things are in place. Let's say you're being compensated appropriately. What's left? How you're made to feel about the work that you do. How you experience it for yourself is correct. How your environment supports it is not correct. That's what I'm saying today. But you want to know, is it self-sabotage to go? No, honey, I think it's self-sabotage if you stay. But that's ultimately for you to decide. Okay? This is a conflict. Like I said, it's a ping pong for you. It's going back and forth. And until you can kind of strip away these other factors that influence you, and I understand why, but it's looking like everything's in play for you to just strip all that away and say, this environment, am I supported? Or do I keep insisting it's a me problem, so I force myself to stay in this role, at this job, at this company? Okay. I think you get the idea. It's heavily 3D today, guys, on your opening, because this is coming up as critical, like what I would call critical mass for the Gemini I'm looking at in March. More so right there at the very beginning. Okay? So that tells me it's kind of spilling over from February too, because this has done been on your mind until the next crisis hits. And you have to deal with it. And with what looks like not much appreciation. But yeah, no, it's right here. You're afraid, despite the fighting, to leave this behind. And so I see you summoning the will to move on from this, to will yourself to transition, to look at other things and get out of this. Okay, so when it comes to coin, you're showing me that sense of caution. I can't just leave this. I am an expert. I understand that. But I said you can take that expertise elsewhere. You could. It looks like you're that Gemini who could shop your skills elsewhere. A good gig is a good gig. You don't have to be that conflicted about it. That's also how I know. If it was really a you problem, you'd know. You wouldn't be showing me that level of competency. That's why. Okay, just pointing out the obvious, honey. That's all any of this really can do is just point out the obvious. Okay, unless it's under predictive. And then it's not always so obvious, right? All right, now, King of Wands, the Lovers, that's you, Ace of Cups. I got some beautiful energy here between you and someone else. It looks powerful. It looks like your passion's on point for it. It looks like your heart space is on point for it. I want to make sure that it feels the same way about you. But yeah, let's take a look at you. Let's see that King of Wands. Show me 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 that King of Wands. And if you're being underpaid and you know it, again, why are you having that conflict? Because that's like tangible 3D shit. You can't argue with that. So that's why I said move that aside as a factor. How does this make you feel? But yeah, I mean, if you're definitely being underpaid or undervalued in the tangible, resourceful way, then you still have an answer. But that tells me how afraid you are of change. And I don't want you to be. It looks like change could do you good, honey. All right, let's see that King of Wands, please. Let's see that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands. Oh, honey, I'm going to need to refuel quicker than I thought. Oh, boy. Oh, I'll tell you. Still in Aquarius. We just entered early spring pollen, or early pollen season here in Texas, and I feel it. Oh, I feel it. It always drags me down. It just makes me tired. If you know me, like in real life, you'd see like, boom, boom, boom. This slow thing? No. That's not my gig, you know. Let's see that King of Wands. Let's say, okay, Three of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, Justice. Okay, you're showing me very careful consideration of balancing with someone's energy. It's actually quite beautiful. It's respectful. You're excited to do this, but you've also given a lot of thought. Four Swords, Justice, the Three of Pentacles. You are showing me I'm willing to work with this and participate with it energy, or somebody is towards you. I don't know. Let's take a look at the Lover's card, but it's actually quite beautiful. It's relaxed. There's no pressure. But it's high levels of cooperation with somebody whom we feel good about cooperating with. Okay. Let's say the Lovers. Show me the Lovers. Show me the Lovers. Show me the Lovers, please. Show me the Lovers. Show me the Lovers. Ace of Wands, King of Swords. Oh, okay. Death, what's up? How interesting. One moment. Let's see the Ace of Cups, please. How interesting. How interesting. How very interesting. Let's see the Ace of Cups, please. Someone has transformed what they thought they knew. Let's see the Ace of Cups, please. Okay. Oh, I've got to see that Ace of Cups now. Well, yours is just all sorts of interesting today. How would you know it's a Gemini reading if it wasn't? Ah. Let's see. King of Pentacles, Six of Swords. What is that? Temperance. Oh. How interesting. interesting. We've got, this is interesting. I would almost say it's a radical approach, but there's nothing radical about it. It's actually very steady. If anything, well articulated about flow and movement between you and someone else. It looks thoughtful in nature, like a plan, but with emotion behind it. It's not evasive. It's not like in your face. Okay. It's not in either one of your faces. There's decisions here on both sides from both people to cooperate over what looks like a proposed system for balance, peace, cooperation. And this is coming from someone who, I believe is you, pulled themselves aside and rested on this quite a bit. And says, you know what, friendship, maybe some cooperation here. We have a lover's energy here that says someone here has experienced a transformation of thinking and judgment about this connection. They're experiencing, or I believe the both of you are experiencing, some sort of renewal that's complicated in nature. It's hard for me to identify it without pushing this further, and I'd like to. As somebody says, they think very differently about this connection than they did. There is a proposal here for some sort of continuation. It almost looks like a project I can't quite identify. And I don't want to use that word project, but I don't know how else to put it. There is a sense of tentative patchwork between you and someone else. I don't know who this is to you. But you're telling me your thinking about this connection has changed a great deal. It's still over your power card. It still is. It's death over the King of Swords. There's something here we stopped being absolutely convinced was true. The radical shifting and or changing of one's thinking, okay? And how we apply the sword. We're trying not to be cold or calculated. We're trying to show hope towards this, but checked hope. See what I'm saying? I remember somebody somewhere said that the best way you can approach some sort of connection or relationship is to have high hopes but low expectations. And I think that's the verbiage I'm trying to use here. So I don't know why I settled for project. I have no idea. That might mean something to you. And that person has something to do with project. But yeah, what you're showing me here is really that definition of high hope, low expectation. And it looks, I would dare say, reasonable between you and someone. And someone says that their heart space is so different. It's calm, it's steady. And it knows what its value is. It knows what its worth is. There is a sense of peaceful cooperation with this person. High hope, but low expectation. I don't see the energy being pushed in any particular direction and any agenda other than what you might, like I say, loosely call patchwork or patch-up work. It directly involves you, but there's one key component here, and that was the radical ending of perhaps untransformed thinking. So the King and Queen of Swords, everybody has pros and cons, no exceptions. All signs, all elements in tarot, all cards, you name it. They can have, King, Queen of Swords famously can have fixed thinking, because this is the thought in my head, it must be true. Or we convince ourselves it's true, okay? And so I can see things like this and say someone's had new insight that they could not allow before, transformed thinking or transformed action, okay? And I can also say this is, it's not determined thinking or determined that I'm right. I just want to open up towards it. Okay? And whatever feeling comes through for it, it's hope. We must remember, wand is fire, fire is light, light is hope. Take passion aside, all that stuff, hope. Whatever assumed thoughts we had have been transformed, or we're trying to leave that out. And just feel that hope. But here's the 3D expectation, which is low. 4 swords, justice, And in these principles of connecting and cooperation, we can find balance and sense of achievement and healing. So high hopes, low expectation. And then over here, we have a sense of peace in someone's heart that perhaps was not there before. Someone's finding themselves in the heart space in this process. Coming back, it looks like, but stronger than it was. Okay. Ooh, put a little twist on there at the end, eh? All right. Your opening was great. That was already, I mean, I know that probably sounds, but have you seen the other stuff I've done? So a lot of people reconnecting and taking forever and ever and ever to understand that that's what they want to do. Okay, fine. But personally, as a reader, that gets a little ho-hum, So to say yours was different in more than one way, it was quite refreshing, I must say. I appreciate you. I do. This is good luck to you both, whatever that means to either one of you. But it does look like peaceful negotiation here. Someone's determination to shut down old thinking or thoughts that aren't true, to leave pride and determination out of it, just allow the feeling to come through. That's here, and it's very distinct. Someone's saying they're a lot more comfortable in their heart space than they were. Okay, there you go. Ooh, well, that's quite a bit for March, eh? Oh, yes. That's quite a bit for March. Adaptability. So I'm saying, as the eagle rising above the fray. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's an excellent summary. You really feel sometimes that it's on you to be adaptable to this situation, even if it harms you. So again, that's how you know it's actually self-sabotage. There's a big difference between being a contributor, the problem solver, the one that's adaptable, versus the one who just takes all the shit. Okay. And feels unsupported and toxic. And it's in a reoccurring environment where you're just like, it's just on me. I just need to be more adaptable. I need to be a better problem solver. No, honey. This is where you need to turn those strong skills of I'm a problem solver into what you're experiencing. Stop neglecting yourself and how you are experiencing this, which is real. Your method, your experience is phenomenal. How you're practicing it and executing it at your own cost, that's the self-sabotage. I think you know there are better avenues for you to do your job. Yeah, eyes of the eagle. I know, rising above the fray. You always do. I know, there you are. There it is, right there. You're the problem solver, right there. I know it. 1864. I know. I see it. But I'm just saying, you're being adaptable to the point that it's costing you. That's too much adaptability, honey. Eventually, even the most adaptable wood will break. Okay? I don't want that to happen for you. All right. In the hand, the universe is your partner. I agree. Dances on one foot, the balancing act. Okay. The universe is your partner here. Trust and open up to what the universe is trying to give you in this respect. Dances on one foot, the balancing act. Right about here. There's that balancing act. Trust what's in your hand. It's the opportunity and the good feeling behind it. Hope. Okay? Not what it is that you're determined or that you thought you knew on this. I don't know how else to explain that, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, anything else in here, please, for Gemini? $23. That's what I'm talking about right there. Excellent. This is, I know it looks sweet. It's innocent, right? It's mice nibbling. The thing is that they nibble on the resources. And if you allow that to continue, you will have nothing left for yourself. Whatever this is takes in excess of what it pays you. Okay? It takes in excess of what it pays you. And it's starting to take from your own personal sense of resourcefulness for you. It leaves you so exhausted. It makes you think that there are no other opportunities for you. This is as good as it gets. And you go back to square one about you just need to be more adaptable, more successful, and smarter, etc. I see what's happening. It's like you're doing some weird reverse psychology on yourself, honey, and it's working against you. It's self-sabotage. I want you to be mindful of that. 23 also might be important for some of you. Okay. The little birds, these are little messages fast, frequent. 12. Communication among the family, the community as well. Okay, so expect some communication from family and something within the community that concerns itself with possibly a rising storm that you feel obligated to. I don't know where this is coming from. This is an FYI. So it's looking like we got some, possibly for some of you, not all of you. Remember the oracles and charms, they're bridges to the main story. They either apply or they don't. They either connect the dots or they don't. But as an FYI, expect some rapid communication relatively soon from people who are within your proximity, specifically your community constituents, okay, your stakeholders, your partners, or actual family. There's a sense of obligation about a rising potential storm coming in for you. It may not be March. Okay? All right. Gemini, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Like I said, this one was interesting. I appreciate that. Take care. Be well.